I tried so many times and it was looking pretty bad for a while. It was looking like I wasn't even gonna make it, like I wouldn't even really survive for that much longer. Now I have purpose. He's restored my life.
Welcome to Religion Sucks, a podcast where we talk about what it's like to have a real relationship with God. My name's Rich, and I'm here with my co-host Kirsten. Today we're talking with our friend Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle tried again and again to overcome her addictions, but it wasn't until she understood the grace of God that she was really able to get sober and stay sober. Okay, let's get started. Here's Michelle.
Hi, it's great to be on. Thank you.
Now, we've known Michelle for a long time, so we're excited to have you. You've been in our home a bunch of times, like for Thanksgiving and different things, but it's fun to have you here for the podcast.
In the Religion Sucks podcast studio.
The Religion Sucks room, right? Yeah. Okay, so to kick things off, we always ask everyone who comes on the show the same question. What is your earliest memory of God? Or like your earliest experience with religion that you remember?
I had a great grandmother and she kind of introduced me to God. I was really young and watching something on the TV that was like a Michael Jackson music video or something. I mean, it was...
That man is gyrating.
Yeah, and it was like there was these pretty girls on there. And I was like, wait, no, go back to that. And she was like, you like those girls. And she was like, what do you mean? I don't know. And she was just like, well, you're gonna go to hell if
Oh, no way did she really
if
say
you
that?
yeah, like if you do this. And she told me about God, and it was like this really scary thing, like you need to pray and you need to do this or you're gonna go out to hell and there's gonna be fire down there.
What?
And
Oh
so
my God, wow.
yeah. So I was like getting on my knees praying, and I was really young. I mean, probably like 5 or 6 or something. I mean, and so I was praying and stuff because I really believed her. I thought, oh, okay, and so there was that.
How do you feel like, did that kind of shape your view of God?
I mean, not really. I really didn't have any spirituality or anything growing up. There was nothing. It was just, I mean, I may have gone to church maybe on a holiday at some point, but, it was just kind of like, okay, well, that's not true, but it didn't really shape me. It was just kind of scary,
I'd say so.
So I don't feel like it like made me afraid of God or anything.
No, that's good.
I really just didn't. The worst thing was I just didn't know anything about God. I was, like we were our own gods, pretty much.
You just didn't want to go to the fiery place with the dancing girls.
Yeah. But I did get some little, like later on in life, I did get some seeds planted, and I feel like, and when those seeds were planted, I was very interested, and I feel like my whole life was pointing to the moment that I was going to be able to be in relationship with him.
It's incredible. And I know you have told me before that you always had a sense that you were made for him. That you, even before you knew God, you just had a sense that he was there and you were meant to be with him, kind of.
Yeah, because I mean, it was in high school that I was working at the mall, the Castle Rock Outlet Mall, and there was a girl there that was a Christian, and she just started explaining her faith to me, and I was just like totally like in awe about it. I thought he was just drawing me to him. He was drawing me to him.
Can I ask which store?
Big Dog Sportswear.
Yeah, I have purchased big shirts from there. I like to say I've got the spiritual gift of shopping, so I'm always curious about mall geography.
It was this store I could get a job at, so I was just like, okay. And I met her. I mean, God had a plan, I didn't stay on that path, there was just so much dysfunction growing up that followed my own way. and made that choice.
You feel like you kind of started down that addiction? Like, were there certain events that came about, or?
Yeah, just I feel like there was a lot of dysfunction in my family. They were actually met at BYU and were Mormon, but they got divorced before I could ever experience any of that. So, which is probably good. But yeah, and just they weren't Christian. They didn't have anything to like help them parent, or like it was just everyone was kind of like out for themselves. And in the world we're living for ourselves. That's so just that. And my mother was an alcoholic, and really active during my childhood and teen years. Yeah, and just very like different, with step parents and things like that. And my parents were a little passive in raising me. It was more the step parents, and they were a lot less. They were just a little tougher. I mean, meaner, I guess, because I wasn't their child. But they weren't as kind. And I was also very rebellious. I mean, I wish I could have done better as a child, and really respected them, but I don't think I felt very loved. I really felt like I was kind of a burden to them since the beginning, really. So feeling that like just unworthiness, and I did not have a lot of self-worth. And then I was on my own when I was a teenager. I ended up going to like a group home. And then was on my own and had my own apartment, a government subsidized apartment in Castle Rock as a teenager, and just was kind of living. I mean, my stepmother did not want me in the house anymore at 14 years old, and I was just kind of thrown to the world. And so that was really hard on my just self-worth.
Do you feel like, did you seek out people who, maybe were more involved in alcohol or drugs or whatever? Did that bring you a sense of acceptance?
Yeah, I think so. And I was really interested in being able to kind of control my emotions and my pain. And I started probably drinking. I know I had my first drink when I was 15. But I started really kind of doing it more when I went to college. I was also, another thing, when I was really young, my parents had me put on an ADHD medication, and turns out later that I didn't even have it. I was like misdiagnosed because they did, it was like they wanted me to be controlled and not really work with me. But I was also, it was a tough situation all around, blended family. I probably had some behavioral problems, but I got addicted to that medication. And it was like, I mean, it's like speed. It's I figured out what it would do, what it does. And it makes you could study really hard. It would improve. It was like a performance enhancing drug.
It's like what college students are using now, to stay up all night and study.
Yeah. And I really figured out what it was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take it when I was younger because it really made me feel weird, and then if you didn't take it, your body went into like this automatic withdrawal.
So it almost seems like you were kind of set up from the get-go to maybe have addiction issues.
Yeah. And then the alcoholism ran in the family. So I did go to a college for a couple of years, and that's when it really started. I was like, oh, this can help me study. And so I was using it, and it keeps you thin, and it keeps you, all those kinds of things. And using it addictively, and then needing something to kind of balance out that like kind of irritability it would give you. So alcohol,
What did that season of your life feel like? Did it seem normal to you? Did you realize you had a problem?
Yeah, there was definitely something not normal. I would just kind of go too a little too far with it. I didn't have control over, like we were talking about. I did not have any control over my actions, And then later in life, I mean, I would try to stop, and do different things. And later in life, I mean, it just got kind of worse. Like it just wasn't working. I mean, it would just ruin all of my opportunities, and make me act in ways that would, um, just cause a lot of shame, and, on top of, already feeling kind of just that like rejection from my parents and stuff like that. So really seeking like God and these things, like what God could fulfill, I was looking for in drugs and in relationships and in all these things. But they failed miserably in
They failed.
in doing and fulfilling you or me or getting rid of that pain. I just wanted to get rid of that pain. I wanted to be loved, and I was trying to get it in all these different ways, not realizing that, I already had it.
Was there anyone in your life who ever confronted you?
Yeah, the police. No, yeah, definitely. There was people that tried to help.
Did you value the police's opinion though at the time? I guess is the
I
question.
mean, no. I mean, I wanted to. I wanted to get help. I wanted to do better, and I tried several times. I went into rehab. I went into AA. I tried everything, and so many times I tried any program, like, yeah, with the legal system would offer. Like, once I got into the legal system, I did make the best of it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna really, try and do this,
What was that experience like, doing rehab or doing AA? Was it helpful?
Yeah, they were helpful. You kind of learn a little bit from each thing. The AA, the principles were kind of cool. Like, they talked about acceptance and learning how to get out of self-pity by serving others. There were some really cool principles. They also pointed to the fact that you couldn't do this yourself. I couldn't do this myself. That God had to do it, but God could be anything.
Yeah, introduction to the higher power.
Yeah, and I really needed a deeper relationship, but I did end up failing. I mean, I would keep some sobriety for a little bit at a time, and I think my biggest thing was just feeling that I was so behind in life at that point. I needed to strive to be something, to like have this. I just felt like I just wasted my life and messed up everything, and I was kind of alone. I felt like I didn't have family, which I didn't. And yeah, I felt like I couldn't win, but I would try to like really like catch up, and I think it would burn me out, and then I would go back. I'd get discouraged in some way, and go back, and never really fully like deepen my relationship with the Lord, like by getting into church. Because I mean, the goal would have been, okay, maybe start with the AA thing, but you have your spirituality. It's kind of like leading up to that, but it's like, then you need to go get into a Bible teaching church and deepen your faith, and see, because I mean, it was all pointing to Him, every time, I'd have like, in the rehabs and stuff, there'd be like, they'd have like, oh, you can go to church this day, or, something like that, and I never was able to get out of that and have enough stability to like a place to live, a car, and all these things to like get to a church.
Or not be hungover on Sunday morning and
Right.
yeah, like have a lot of friends who always have some sort of excuse that their life is causing them to not want to be there Sunday morning or whatever day it is.
You're sitting here with us now, and you're this amazing, beautiful, healthy, sober person, right? So what changed?
Well, I mean, just the grace of God. I mean, I was kind of, still stuck in addiction, and through a boyfriend I had at the time, told me about Gather Church. And I came. I mean, I got saved at the church, and I was still using at that time. And I just remember you telling me like about God and like how Jesus wanted to live his life through me, and something, I don't know, when you said that, it just really clicked. It was something that I really wanted, and I wanted to pursue, and get freedom. I didn't know all of what it entailed at all. I mean, and so I came together and kept going, and I still had like another slip after that, and God really worked through that pain, and I just became desperate, for him and to learn about him. And he showed up mighty. I mean, yeah, in so many so many ways. Yeah, he changed my life. And it was only him that could do it, because like I tried so many times, and it was looking pretty bad for a while. It was looking like I wasn't even gonna make it, like I wouldn't even really survive for that much longer. And now I have purpose. He's restored my life. I have a job, I have a car, I have a place to live. Those are, just some ways that he's provided in the natural. But spiritually, it's like I'm fulfilled. Like I don't need anything else. I'm not like searching for something to fill me. He fills me. Like it's hard to explain, because there's nothing else that could really do that. And it's more fulfilling than any addiction, any relationship, anything. It's better. And it just, like you said, that time with him in the morning, before I go to work, being able to like look forward to my lunch break so I can read my word. I mean, I'm kind of a nerd with it, but these are the things that really keep me going. And it's neat to not have that like hungry feeling like for something else, like that you just need something, but you're already filled. And it's really cool. But yeah, just seeking him and really being intentional about getting to church, and seeking like a Bible teaching church. I like the expository teaching, and getting into community. I mean, really making that a point, because I had all these excuses before of why I wasn't, following. Like I was, choked by the thorns, or, in that parable where he talks about the seed and that the enemy taking it away. I mean, that's what really happened. And so now learning from that, because he uses everything, I just really had that drive to do that and stick with that.
And just having walked through this with you, knowing, having known you long enough, we could see the moment kind of when it started to click for you, when you like got the grace of God, and it wasn't about striving or trying in your own strength. Like you understood what Jesus had done for you, and like what God can do by putting his spirit in you, and how that just changes everything. And it's no longer trying and failing and trying and failing. You know what I mean? It's like being transformed from the inside out. And so it's been really cool for us to just witness that, because we just love you, and like, yeah.
You could see it.
Oh yeah. You just lit up like when we saw that you understood, and you made that connection, Yeah. Because like you and I talk about how we all come into God's kingdom broken. Yeah. Like you can't clean yourself up enough for God. Like he has to save you.
Yeah.
And so when we saw that start to make sense for you, your life really started to change. which was cool. It's a heart change. It's not external. The heart has to change first, and then everything external changes.
And a burden lifted.
Yeah. Okay. I guess kind of in closing, I would want to know, you would want to tell people who are listening to this podcast. Maybe they're in the same place you were, or maybe they know someone who is, but what would you want to say to people?
Just to run to Jesus. Run to Jesus. I mean, in any way you can, pick up the word. There's resources everywhere. Find a local church and find like a Bible teaching church. There's so many different versions of Christianity out there that I would encourage just to get in your word. And that's a good way to deal with like temptation too, is keeping that spiritual fitness. Just the greatest gift God can give you is a new heart, and it's just amazing. So run to Jesus and keep seeking, just keep going deeper. And if anything in the church or people or personalities upset you, like, don't let that discourage you. Don't let any like hypocrisy or anything like that discourage you. Just keep seeking and seek him, and he will show up mighty.
That's a good point, because I think a lot of times we go to church expecting to see Jesus, as we should, but then when people who are sinful and human, show up and give you something different, it's easy to get discouraged about who God is and to trust him, and you got to keep on. That's what I think is important about going to a Bible teaching church and just seeking him yourself too, is just you get to know who God really is, and hopefully everybody does that, so everybody allows Jesus to live out through them too. But you make a really good point there.
Well, thank you for sharing your story. It takes courage, Thank you. It means a lot to us, and I know it'll mean a lot to whoever's listening.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We love hearing from you guys, so hit us up on Instagram or contact us through our website, religionsucks.co.
Can't wait to spend time with you guys again next time.